Help me make my 2026 TBR. I did this last year and I picked 13 books, so now I'm gonna pick another random 13 books. There's absolutely no order to how I build my TBR. This is just me looking around my bookshelf and on the spot coming up with what I want to read this year. Probably not the best way to do this, but here we are. The first book I'm going to start with is Orlando by Virginia Woolf. The next book I'm adding is Paradise Lost by John Milton because I have the theory that Breaking Bad is just a retelling of Paradise Lost and I want to prove it eventually. I also want to reread Son of Neptune because I am back in my Greek mythology Percy Jackson era. I'm obsessed. I also want to tackle my big book fear this year, and for some reason I chose Don Quixote. I remember reading parts of it in my world literature class, but this book is a chunker, and I am very frightened. I am very scared. Send help. Last year, I read both the Odyssey and the Iliad, so I feel like it's only fair to add the Aeneid to that as well. Seen here doing the Ben Solo shrug, I read both Wuthering Heights and Jane Eyre last year, so I thought it was only fair to add The Tenant of Windfell Hall to this year's TBR to complete the Bronte trinity. The next book on my list I simply don't have yet. That's Pastures of Heaven by John Steinbeck. I read Cup of Gold last year because I want to eventually read all of his works in order. As seen from this view, I am approximately 2 apples tall, but my next pick is A Love is a Dog from Hell by Charles Bukowski, simply because I've never read his works and I've heard that he's insanely controversial and I want to find out why. Next here I have Sense and Sensibility by my queen, Jane Austen. I don't know why I keep making these weird faces. We're gonna ignore it and move on. Once again, may I remind you, back in my Greek mythology phase, I found this cute little book in a random bookstore, so have to read it. I have quite a few plays on my shelves that I have never read before, so I chose A Raisin in the Sun because I've heard that it's a classic. Do I know anything about it? No. Do I still want to read it? Yes, so eventually we'll give it a try. Speaking of classics, I have The Road by Cormac McCarthy, seen here as He Road. We're just gonna keep it. And then I also have On the Road by Jack Kerouac because I get these two books mixed up based on the titles, even though I know that they are not related whatsoever. And with that, that is my completed 2026 TBR. I have 13 books here. Again, not pictured is Pastures of Heaven by John Steinbeck because I will be needing to go to the library to get that one. I'm so sorry you had to see that weird little shuffle crawl. I will never be doing that again. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I will keep you updated on how many of these I get to. Anyway, goodbye.